as the morning drive rolls on, let's send it now over to Damon Hack.
All right, thank you very much. Great to be joined now by the Senior Director of Instruction at GOLFTEC, Nick Clearwater. Nick, good morning. How are you?
Thanks. Good to be here with you, Damon.
Great to be with you,
yes.
Nick. Listen, I keep my ear to the ground. I hear a lot about the things coming down the pike. SwingTRU. What is SwingTRU?
Yes. So SwingTRU. Well, let me tell you a little bit about how we got to the end result of SwingTRU. So at GOLFTEC, we've been measuring golfers and their swings for about 20 years.
Wow.
A little bit more than that. During that time, we've taught about 6 million golf lessons.
Whew.
I know, it's a big deal. Nothing else is bigger than that.
Yeah.
So this calendar year alone, we're on pace with the growth we've had the last few years to actually teach 1 million just this year.
Tremendous.
So we have a ton of data. Then in every one of those lessons, we've got our very cool motion measurement system that's proprietary to us. So we have a lot of data. In fact, we've got so much data that we actually rival the HD library of movies in iTunes.
How about that?
Huge.
Wow.
Huge. So we took a small sampling of that, about 20,000 swings and 20,000 different golfers, and then correlated how they move throughout the swing to their actual handicap level or their ability. And that gives you a correlative study of what motion measurements are actually important for golfers.
Wow.
So think of SwingTRU, I suppose, as big data meets the golf industry for the first time on a huge scale that only we can do.
So much information out there these days. Nick, is there a specific method or theory to SwingTRU?
Yeah. So that comes up a lot, Damon, and there's not at all. We're not trying to teach anybody to swing the same way. That seems ludicrous in our minds, but it does point out some very factual evidence of what golfers do and what they should do to play better golf.
Okay.
But we're interested in just helping everybody solve their own unique golfing problems.
All right, so what are the results of the study?
Yeah, so we've got what we highlighted here, just to make the study very digestible and easy to understand, are 6 motion measurements that correlated very highly to success.
Okay.
Now, you want to take a look at one?
Yeah. Any surprises, though, in this study?
Yeah.
Anything that made you go, wow, that's interesting or unexpected?
Yeah. I would say that there was nothing that really surprised me or the 600-plus GOLFTEC coaches that we have, simply because they use the motion measurement every day in every lesson.
Okay.
But I have been pretty surprised by some of the normal golfers that look at the study, and they're surprised that that would be really highly correlated, each one of these moves. And a lot of the golf industry and instructors sometimes are a little confused by some of the data.
All right, let's go take a look at one of these positions that you were mentioning, one of the 6.
Yes, so we have a golfer here demonstrating in our study the difference between a good golfer and someone who's less skilled. So if you look at the golfer in red, you can see the amount that the shoulder bend is backward. So that top sensor you see that sits right on his back, that can be bent forward or backward. The best golfers, like the one you see on the green, bend their shoulders backward about 29 degrees more than the worst golfers when you put the averages of each handicap level together.
Interesting.
So on the graph down there, you can see a perfect correlation between how good at golf you are and how much you bend back. And I know this graphic is meant for the follow-through, but it's also at impact and then every part of the follow-through, all the way to the finish.
So how do you get that guy to swing like that guy? How do you get the person at home, more to 32 degrees like you want?
So everybody can do this. It's not unique to just being good at golf, but the first part of actually being able to do this is to understand it.
Okay.
And most people don't envision the forward and backward bending. That's a dimension of golf that's not really taught in books or DVDs or that you hear about at all.
Nick, I'd love you to show us. Can you show us how to do it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Our simulator here.
Okay.
We've had major champions hit off of here. Are you ready for this?
I feel pretty special here then, Damon.
It's a neat place to be here.
I'll try to make sure you're safe there. So
all right.
In that graphic we just looked at, you could see that the worst golfers hit, and in their finish, due to a lot of reasons, a lot of the problems stem from your friends or other people telling you to keep your head down when you hit a bad shot.
Right.
And they keep their shoulders bent forward. Meanwhile, the best golfers, everybody that you watch on TV, hits the ball and they've got their back really stretched out and they've swung faster as a result. It's a mechanism that a golfer would use to shallow out the amount you hit the ground, and bending yourself backward makes you hit the ball much farther and swing faster.
Interesting.
So a way to practice, if you do find yourself with the problem of hitting the ground too hard or bending your elbows and trying to look down after you hit, it's a big problem that plagues golfers. So a way you could do that is start with a short swing where your arms stop when they're somewhat parallel to the ground on both sides of the ball, trying to bend your torso back just a little bit from your sternum up. your hips should be very level and your lower back should be very straight.
Okay.
The bending backward that you saw in that picture is really just from the top of your back upward.
Looking like Johnny Miller, looking like the champion at Oakmont back in 1973.
There's a reason it worked out so well for him.
I love that. Well, let's see you hit some shots.
Sure. So the drill that I would suggest would be to just slightly put your weight a little bit more towards the target, and then start with those short swings and punch the ball down the fairway. Straighten your legs all the way.
Excellent.
And keep your arms really straight at the finish, too.
Well done, Nick. What would you say is next for SwingTRU?
Yeah, so this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
We're really just stretching our legs with this first version. We'll add some ball flight to it so we can get the characteristics of how people hit, where the balls start, how much they curve, which direction they curve, how far they go, correlate that to success of golfers. And then we've got a host of other things. We're really just getting started with this. It's very cool. My friends at Denver University have taken us through all of this data that we've gone through. We've got other motion measurements that we can measure, how golfers bend their wrists, how the forces are applied to the club. We're just starting out.
Awesome information, Nick. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks.
Indeed, thank you. We'll take all the help that we can get. Well, we've been talking about it